Hey guys, F-Train here. How's it going? I just want to give you a little tutorial on how to use the Tinkercad circuits program. Actually, maybe what I should have done was to start it out here. Well, anyway, you go to your Tinkercad account, all right, and then you're going to do create a new circuit. Let's see, you're going to go to the circuits part here. This is like the one you used before. You're going to go to the circuits, okay? Click on there, and then you're going to do create a new circuit. All right, and you're going to get this blank canvas that you can work on here, all right? So what you want to do is you want to start out and look for components. So I want to use a mini breadboard, and the reason you want to use a mini breadboard is because all the projects that we're going to work on, they use a mini breadboard. I think it'll be a lot easier for you to follow along if you use the same breadboard as they do. So you take your mini breadboard, all right? You can just search for it, breadboard, and it'll come up mini breadboard, all right? This is project number 2, by the way, all right? You already did a similar project to number 1, which was resistors, okay? The next thing you want to do is you want to find a, if you go to all, then everything will come up. You want to find a light bulb, okay? So look for light bulb. Light bulb. All right, and there is no light bulb. There is a light bulb. Let's see, I promise. Let's see, let's look down here. Light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb, light bulb. Here it is. Maybe it's because I didn't leave a space. Okay, so here's your light bulb. All right. You also want to get out a multimeter. So look for multimeter. Oops, there it is. Multimeter. Now, multimeter, as the name implies, can measure multiple things. It can measure current, amps. I'm going to actually put it on the amperage. So it can measure the amps. It can also measure voltage if you want. Okay. Next thing I want to do is I want to get a 9-volt battery. So I'm going to go for this, maybe just look at basic components, and that should be one of the basic components, 9-volt battery. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to take a resistor, okay? So these are the 5 things you're going to need for this little mini project here, okay? Now, what I like to do is I like to turn my battery like this. So, and you just hit that little button there and click it and it'll rotate, all right? I'm also going to rotate my resistor here. All right, and I'm going to put the resistor spanning 2 columns. Now, as you remember from the video, the columns are all connected together, but the rows are not, all right? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect a circuit, a basic circuit. Now remember, for a circuit to work, the current has to go all the way around the, in a circle. So I'm going to start out with my battery. I'm going to go from the negative side, and I'm going to click on that. Now, that automatically gives you a wire, and I'm going to connect that wire to any row in this column that has the same column as my resistor here, okay? So I'll click into that one. So, so now my current will go from the battery to here, then it'll go up. Now it's going to go through my resistor. Okay, now you remember what resistors do. They sort of impede the flow of current, all right? Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put my, my ammeter right in here. Okay, actually I probably should have, I'm going to actually turn, well, no I'm not. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to move my resistor down. I'll show you why. All right, so I'm going to put my resistor down here. It's still going to do the same thing because it's connected to that column. But I'm going to put my ammeter up here so that now the current's going to go from my resistor into my ammeter. Then it's going to come out of my ammeter. It's going to go into the one end of the light bulb, the one terminal of the light bulb. Now it's going to go from the other terminal of the light bulb back to the battery. So now it's going to make a complete circuit. Battery, resistor through the ammeter, through the light bulb, and back to the battery. Now, if everything's connected properly, and I do start simulation, my light bulb should light up, okay? And if you notice, it did, okay? It lit up. And it also tells me how much current is flowing through my circuit here. Now that's 8.58 milliamps. Milli means 10 to the minus third or 1,000th, so it's 8.58 thousandths of an amp, or 0.00858 amps. Okay, so make sure that's in the problem, in the questions. So I want you to answer the questions at the bottom of that page that I gave you. Okay, project number 2. Now, before I do that, I want to show you one more thing. I'm going to stop the simulation. I'm going to move my ammeter out here. I'm going to get rid of this wire, and I'm going to put another light bulb. Now, I'm going to make this a series circuit now, okay? I'm going to rotate my... By the way, I should have mentioned before, you can actually change the resistance of the resistors, and you'll actually see the colors change when you do that. It's kind of cool. All right, I'll show you in a minute how you can do that. So I want my ammeter to be like that, and then I'll connect any of these rows to here, okay? And again, if I click Start Simulation, I should get current. All right, I can change the resistance. So if I click on my resistor, it says resistor number 1, resistance. Now notice it says 1 kilo ohm. So I'm going to change, I can change that to milliohms, micro ohms. I'm just going to make 1 ohm, okay? And I'm going to make this also 1 ohm. Actually, no, I'm going to make this 2 ohms, okay? So now my total current in my circuit should be 3 ohms. 1 ohm, because it has to go through 1 ohm of resistance, and then it has to go through another 2 ohms of resistance, right? And so my total resistance is going to be 3 ohms. So my current should be 9 over 3. Now you might notice that it is not. It's less, okay? And the reason for that is that the light bulb itself has resistance, and there's no way I can change that, okay? So, but notice what happens if I were to make the resistance a lot larger, okay? Let's say I make this 1 kilo, and I make this 2 kiloohms. So now I'm gonna get, so my current should be 9 divided by 3,000, okay? So 9 divided by 3,000. And that's 3 times 10 to the minus thirds. Now I'm getting a much better reading. So you probably want to try to use larger resistances with this. Otherwise, the internal resistance of the light bulb will be more than the resistors, the resistance of your resistors. And so it's going to throw off your values unless you take into account the resistance of this light bulb, which I don't even believe they tell you. So we're going to be using LEDs a lot too in this. So that'll actually make things a little easier, because I think LEDs are very low resistance. All right, so anyway, that's what you're going to do. Hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to stop sharing. So yeah, so fill out the, or do the project 2 in your, I'm gonna attach a sheet with like 50 projects. You're gonna do number 2. We're gonna do a number of these projects in the next couple weeks. And so what I want you to do is I want you to make a Google Doc with screenshots of your circuits, and also answer those questions from that workbook, okay? So screenshots and answer the questions, and hopefully if you have any questions, you will let me know, okay? Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.